Alright, first of all, we're going to tell you guys about art and music, and then later on the perspectives of today. One of the main topics in modernism is art and music. Modern art goes all the way back to the 17th century. Modernism features many isms such as post-impressionism, symbolism, cubism, and futurism. A while after World War II, USA became the midpoint of a couple of new movements, including pop art and photorealism. Pop art holds different kinds of art, among them abstract art, of which Andy Warhol is one of the creators. Andy Warhol was a part of coining the expression 15 minutes of fame, which is about people wanting to be seen on TV or getting famous for 15 minutes. For example, if it was some kind of X Factor, some people would sign up for the auditions, although they are well aware of that they have no singing skills. Anyway, they would do this to have these minutes of fame, even if nobody would know who they are after that. Another art former would be Henry Spencer Moore, who is the creator of several weird abstract sculptures of the human body. One of the predominant styles in the world of architecture was Bauhaus, but it's not the Bauhaus we know today, with building materials. In this period they made quite colorful furnitures in a simple and modern way.
Modernism is as well the time of a new music form, one we all know today as rock and roll. Rock and roll is a mix of various music styles including blues, gospel, country, folk and jazz. This form of music is also known for its provocative body language and high volume overdoing the usual ways of society. The music in this time of modernism reflects science and progress. One of the famous composers from the period was the American John Cage, who also became famous for the avant-garde music style. He believed that there could be music in all sounds, which means that in every sound you can make, you are able to create music of some random form. The music can also never be replaced because that in avant-garde music you improvise and therefore there will never be two identical pieces of music. The creator of this particular music style, John Cage, quoted, "I can't understand why people are frightened of new ideas. I'm frightened of the old ones." John Cage is not the only representative when it comes to music developments. The man behind developing the music art jazz is called Miles Davis. He was one of the main musicians in the 20th century. For example, he came up with cool jazz and fusion, which is a mix of rock and jazz.
And then to our last topic, which is the perspectives of today. The Industrial Revolution and the British Empire came to an end at the beginning of the 1900s, which left USA and the Soviet Union a more dominant role up until 1980s. The postmodernist movements, as we mentioned as one of the isms in the beginning, became a trend sometimes in the 1970s. Postmodernism is a way of writing novels and poems in a more beautiful way than how the real world is represented. At this time authorship flourished and both novels and poems became popular.
A poet by the name T. S. Eliot was an American who revolutionized an entire generation with his works. In 1915 he had a little help from a supporter named Ezra Pound to publish his poem, The Love Story of J. Alfred Prufrock. This poem brought him lots of credit that led to progress in his career. Shortly after, Eliot wrote a poem about his personal life, mental stability, and the cultural surroundings. The texts were corrected and made ready for release by the title The Wasteland. The English modernism came to the conclusion that the poet cannot at all portray life.